According to CNBC, a whopping 65% of adults feeling the financial squeeze, with inflation giving them the biggest headache. And nearly half of them feel that they're in a worse financial spot than they were 5 years ago.
I think Americans are a little perplexed when they see news reports of inflation coming down, and yet they don't notice any of their prices coming down.
So if you look very carefully at what sectors the inflation was in, it was a supply side shortage generated by the pandemic. It was the war in Ukraine. It was demand shifts. All of that was the underlying source of the inflation. And therefore, the Fed's response of just raising interest rates wasn't getting at that underlying source, and in some ways made things worse.
And what's even more painful, and we've all experienced this, is going to the shop and seeing your bill skyrocket compared to what it's been just a few years ago. You know what? Even though inflation is slowing down, prices are still playing hard to get back down to earth. Everything from groceries to petrol or gas in the US, or fixing things around the house, is just burning a hole in our pockets. A quick bit of housekeeping before we continue. If you haven't already, why don't you do me a favor and click the subscription and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content like this. Also, give this video a thumbs up, and for engagement's sake, just comment an emoji in the comment section. I'm not asking for an arm or a leg. It doesn't cost you anything. Just support me continue doing what I'm doing and bringing these videos out for you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. As if it's not already angering, as you can hear from my voice, economists say prices aren't likely to come down anytime soon. It's like a runaway train, and as it keeps chugging along, we might hit a point, if we've not already, where people just can't afford to spend on anything. And I believe this could be the point where things could take a U-turn into disinflation or a full-on deflation. Scary stuff. So let's look at why prices might not come down anytime soon and what you can do about it. Well, whether it's whipping up budget-friendly meals or sharing savvy shopping tips, let's talk Turkey. Prices are shooting up faster than SpaceX rockets across nearly every industry. It's a tough pill to swallow, but if we can just trim a few bucks off our grocery bill every week, that might just take the edge off. That's why I'm all about finding those budget-friendly options, even if that means swapping the chicken breast for thighs. Of course, I understand it's not just groceries that are breaking the bank. It seems like every aspect of life is coming with a higher price tag these days. From housing to furniture, the cost of living just keeps climbing. While the majority of government bodies tend to focus on core inflation, the reality is that many essentials just aren't getting any cheaper. If we talk numbers and take America for an example, a whopping 75% of Americans feel inflation is just spiraling out of control. But here's the thing, and contrary to popular belief, prices are actually rising at a slower rate than they were before. So why the doom and gloom? Well, in my opinion, it comes all down to perception. When you're shelling out more at the pump and seeing your grocery bills skyrocket, it's hard to see the silver lining.
When people are sort of asked almost anything about the economy, they react in a very sort of visceral way that everything is lousy, even though there's a fair bit of evidence that bit by bit things are getting quite a little bit better. The fact that this negativism is so pervasive in the face of evidence is fascinating.
We went through such a long period where we didn't have any serious inflation, and now just getting used to this rate of change where things are 20-25%, in some cases higher than they were before, it makes it feel maybe a lot worse than it would if you just sort of looked at absolute dollar value.
And let's not forget about something that psychologists call the money illusion, a sneaky play really that our brain plays on us, making us believe that a pound or a dollar today is worth the same that it was yesterday, which we realistically know is not the case. So even if wages are inching up, we still feel like on a hamster wheel chasing our financial tail. So it's no wonder that many people, including myself, feel frustrated and sometimes downright ripped off. Now here's the harsh truth that majority of people don't seem to realize. Prices rarely go down without a good fight. Sure, we might see inflation slow down a little bit, a phenomenon economists call disinflation, but full on deflation? No. Is it completely impossible, you ask? No, but it all boils down to supply and demand. As long as companies are keeping those prices up and consumers like you and me are swiping our cards and are willing to pay those prices, there is no incentive for prices to ever drop. It's a delicate dance between profit margins and purchasing power, and right now companies are calling the shots. So what can savvy shoppers or consumers like you and me do? Well, for starters, have a plan. Whether it's meal prepping or scouting budget-friendly stores, having a plan can go a long way. And remember, the cure for high prices is, you guessed it, high prices. And eventually the market will reach a tipping point and the prices will have to come down to reality. So while inflation may be putting a squeeze on our wallets, there is hope on the horizon. Stay informed, make savvy financial choices, and cut back on those import buys. And all of a sudden you might do financially better than you think. And I've actually got a whole video on that topic, so click that if you haven't watched that already. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't, and leave me a comment in the comment section below. Support me continue doing what I'm doing, bring these videos out for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.